Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 40 of Onward and Upward. I am your host, Jamie Pham, hashtag the guy who procrastinates about procrastinating. And today, I want to talk about a few things I've learned from podcasting. So let's get into it. First of all, I just want to take a moment and ask how you guys are doing. I've realized recently, after listening back on a few episodes, that I haven't really asked that. And I know I'm not really talking to anyone in particular, but I just hope you guys are doing well. So, I am currently 39 episodes into this show. And for those who don't know, this podcast is sort of like an extension of my blog, where I talk about random topics and life lessons that I've learned. Each episode is only a few minutes long, so it's easily digestible. So you can listen while you're at the gym, sitting in traffic, walking, while you're working, etc. I wasn't expecting much. I had a loose plan for what I wanted the podcast to become and the goals I wanted to achieve. And after close to 40 episodes, there were a few things I've learned about myself and podcasting in general. The first is being consistent. Even though each episode is only a few minutes long, there were times where I didn't feel like recording anything at all, but I had to keep going because I didn't want to, quote unquote, break the chain. I first heard this term from Jerry Seinfeld, who said that in his early days, he set out to write one joke a day. He didn't want to set the bar too high because it would discourage him, so he just told himself, write at least one joke a day. Good or bad, he came up with a different joke every single day, and when he was done, he got a marker and marked a red X on that day on his calendar. And after a few days, he got a chain going, and that motivated him to keep going so he didn't break the chain. This motivation led me to blog more regularly every week because it got my brain thinking, and more ideas for topics come to me throughout the day, which in turn leads to more content for my blog, my mailing list, and this podcast. The second lesson was it got me out of my comfort zone. I love writing, and it is my favorite medium. I write better than I talk and have been writing in journals since I was a kid. But I wanted something more, so I decided to start a podcast, and it definitely got me out of my comfort zone. It allowed me to express myself creatively in a different way and got me talking, pun intended. The third lesson is that it's your show. You can talk about whatever you want, whenever you want. You don't need to run topics by your boss and get it approved. Want to talk about sports? You go for it. Have something on your mind and you want to rant for a bit? Go right ahead. One of the people I look up to is Adam Carolla, and he uses his podcast as a platform to speak his mind. The next lesson I learned was to just do it. The hardest part of doing something is getting started. I've had minimal podcast experience in the past, but I didn't let that stop me from starting my own show. All you have to do is dive right in and get started. If you wait too long researching and thinking about starting, you probably won't start at all. The last lesson is to be patient and put in the work. 99.999% of podcasts don't blow up overnight, nor do they do in the first year or first few years for that matter. In fact, most podcasts won't get big, but don't let that dissuade you. You probably won't make millions off your show, but you'll be able to do what you love and talk about the things you love. And a bonus lesson is to learn everything about your craft. For Mouth Off Network, I handle the business side of things and also do most of the marketing. But since I am part owner, I wanted to be able to know all aspects of the business, like the branding, the marketing, and the technical side. That's one of the reasons why I started this podcast, and I do everything on my own for it. I know I'm not the best and won't be the best on the technical side of things, but at least I know the process, so it's easier for me to talk about it. I want to be able to know the ins and outs of the whole business, so when I am making a business pitch, I know what I'm talking about. There's still a lot for me to learn about podcasting, but in the end, it's been a really rewarding and humbling experience. As always, thank you for listening. I will return in a few weeks for season 4, but in the meantime, always remember that tomorrow is a new day. Onward and upward.